any food. Just hanging out with my lambs. So it's been a little while since we made a video. A couple of reasons for that. I'm going to make this one quick. It's January, it's the day before MLK Day, whatever the date is. So in October, the little foster baby went to live with his aunt and uncle. We knew it was coming. They're great people. Didn't really help missing him, right? Beth was pretty depressed about it. I was to some degree as well. So we just kind of, whatever. And then Thanksgiving, Beth went to Arkansas to her mom's house. And so I'm here by myself. I had Thanksgiving with my parents. But Friday, about dinner time, I come out to feed everybody. And the little baby llama is down in the pasture. It's like 33 degrees and piss and rain. It was very bad conditions. I don't know how long he'd been there. I carried him to the lean-to. I got him warm and dry. Tried to drench him with this, it's like a mixture of molasses. It's called Nutri-Drench. It's for extra energy. And he couldn't hold his head up. He couldn't cush. He was in really bad shape. Called several vets, and only one was really any help. Unfortunately, she was at Oklahoma State University, and we are out of their travel radius. So she told me to try some things. I tried them. Beth came home the next morning, Saturday, and then we were actually going to move him into the garage so he could be warmer. But when we were moving him, it was apparent that he wasn't going to bounce back from this. So as humanely as possible, I put him down and I buried him out in a sunshiny part of the pasture. Unfortunately, this is a part of ranching, homesteading, whatever, but that does not make it any easier. It is the first time I've had to mercy kill anything, and I know I'm going to have to do it at some point, but it affects me, like it affected me. So he probably had meningeal worms, which we had never heard of. If we had known the symptoms of this, we would have caught it early. At the time, he was transitioning from nursing to eating grass. So he hadn't got on feed yet, so he hadn't got any dewormer. And hell, it's 50-50 whether you're supposed to deworm llamas anyway. Beth's mom has a male llama, adult. She's had him since I've known Beth, which is 6 years. And she's never vaccinated or wormed him once, no problem. But it was probably meningeal worms. We didn't have a necropsy done. We didn't feel it was necessary, but we're definitely going to worm them regularly, preventatively. I mean, that's what worming is, essentially. We're also going to make sure they get CDTs every year because whether it does any good or not, I don't know, but it can't hurt. So we then got fecal samples of all 3 llamas and 3 of the 9 sheep. And all of them were clear except for the baby llamas. He had a medium load of tapeworms. If I can get the PDF up, I'll put it up so you can see what it looks like. But we basically got a bunch of llama poop and sheep poop and put it in separate Ziploc bags and refrigerated them, and then sent them to a lab, and they analyzed them and emailed us a report. So it's been a rough couple of months. We haven't really felt like recording or anything like that, so I'll give you the quick update. We got fiber internet. We have gigabit internet here. If you don't know what gigabit is, it's fast. That was one of my biggest adjustments to moving out here, but our electric co-op is literally the best electric co-op on the planet because we have gigabit internet in the country. So now we can upload videos from home, we can stream whatever. We can both do things on the internet at the same time. All the sheep are doing well. The one behind me, Aspen, our little ram lamb, we noticed he was losing fur, and we didn't know why. So that was another reason why we got all the fecal samples done. So Beth she had this like infinity scarf thing that it basically almost looked like a goat tube, but it was knitted. So she cut out some leg holes and she put it on him. And I was in there doing something, and she came out to check on him. It was about 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night, and she couldn't find him, and the little scarf was on the ground. So I got the flashlight, I went out to the pasture, I found him, and he had scratch marks on him, most likely from the dogs. He is the only sheep that has not headbutted the dogs, because he's very mild-mannered, he's very friendly, and they get to playing and horsing around, and they try to play with him. They're puppies still. I mean, they're huge, but they're still puppies. So we have separated them. We separated both of the lambs, so he has some company. And we actually got a canvas sheet blanket that we've been keeping on him to keep the wind off of him and keep the weather off of him. But his wool is growing back pretty nicely. It's, I don't know, about 1/4 of an inch thick right now. And the places it was missing, you can kind of see. But we got to either get the shock collars on the dogs or reintroduce the lambs at a limited capacity while I'm out here. The problem is, you know, the dogs are pretty lazy during the day, and then after they eat dinner, they get a little rambunctious, and they wake up, they get their energy, and, you know, they start playing. So I'm not out here when it was happening. And I know they weren't being intentionally malicious, but still, the fact remains they're here to guard the animals, not hurt the animals, no matter the reason. So I'm working on clearing out the barn so we have a place to lamb if we have any lambs. Apparently that can start as early as 4 weeks from today. So I'm trying to be ready ahead of time. I've gotten everything moved out of there for the most part. All I've got to do is take down some of the tin on the side and make a little slider door. I don't know if I'm going to make it big enough for the llamas right off the bat. It'll definitely be big enough for the sheep, so we can put all the girls in there at night, and then Beth can check on them in the morning, make sure everybody is not going into labor, and then let them out to graze. We shudder to think what would happen if there was a lamb born out in the pasture and the dogs got to it before we noticed it. I hate to say I'd probably be strangling a dog, but that would not be a good situation. We'll just put it that way. So other than that, we're all good. We've just been kind of down. It happens. What are you going to do? But it's a nice day. I've been out here working. I let the sheep out into the big pasture, which is only barbed wire fenced right now. I'm going to work on fencing off another little pasture over there for them. But they've been doing okay. I've been letting them out here when I'm out in the afternoons working. And they don't really run away, but, you know, they could get underneath the barbed wire if they really wanted to. So I just like to keep an eye on them, but they really seem to enjoy coming out and grazing on all this new area that they've never had the chance to eat. Aspen the lamb. What are you doing, little guy? Hi. Well, so that's what's happening in our neck of the woods. I'm gonna pen up the sheep and chill. It's the weekend, and it's very beautiful today. So I hope everybody else is doing well. We're getting better. As always, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.